In this video, I'm gonna be reviewing 3 different types of potty, and I'll be letting you know by the end of this video which one is gonna be worth a bang for your buck. Something I bought a while back is this potty called My Carry Potty. It's a portable potty that you can actually use while you're traveling and you can't find any clean toilets anywhere. So you can open it like this, and then your child will go potty in there. So this was actually designed by a mom who was having a hard time finding places to put her child in who was potty training. It's typical for parents who are traveling. When you're like, let's say on the road and you want your child to go potty, you can't always rush them to the nearest toilet because sometimes they can't hold it. So something like this is super useful. So some pros about this potty. When your child goes to the potty and let's say you're traveling, you're on the road, something you can do is seal it like this. And if you do not have time to clean and you want to walk around with it or you want to drive around with it, you don't have to worry about it leaking. It's super sealable and it's super helpful. Another pro is this carry handle right here. Your child can walk around with it wherever they'd like. So when your child is just potty training, allowing them to carry it around with them is going to be super helpful because they can just go whenever they're feeling like it. So let's say they're walking around the house or they're walking around outside. They need to go, they just carry it around with them and then they can just open it. It comes in many different designs. So the one I got is a penguin, as you can see, but it comes in about 10 different designs. So you can check out their website or you can check out the stores nearby. A few cons, however, is this can actually be very difficult to open for some children. So if I'm opening it, I'd have to, let's say I'd have to hold the handle or I'd have to like hold onto the potty, twist it, and then move it like that. Another con is that my child has actually never used it. The way he likes to play with it is that he doesn't like to sit on it to pee or poo inside. He actually likes to just stuff things inside of it like it's a little suitcase, which is super cute, but it kind of defeats the whole purpose of it being a potty. But yeah, that's it. It's my carry potty. So the next thing I'm going to be reviewing is the Munchkin Potty seat. So we have 2 of these in our home because we have 2 toilets. So we'll just put our son in on whatever toilet we are closest to if he needs to go pee or poo. And it's super easy to just install. We just put it on the toilet seat and then it's good to go. So a few pros about this particular toilet seat is the grips on it. I love the grips around the edges of this toilet seat because once your child needs to go onto the toilet, you don't want them slipping around on the seat and accidentally falling in. So these grips are super helpful. Another pro is this handle right here. So this is just very helpful for your child. If they need to go to the toilet, they can just grab the handle, put it on the toilet seat, and it's super easy to put on. Another pro is how portable it is. I love how I can just stuff this into a suitcase if we're traveling somewhere and it doesn't take up much room. So super portable. So something I'm not a very big fan of with this toilet seat are all the crevices that are around it. So when my child is peeing, because he's a boy, he is peeing on the splash guard right here. And if I don't clean the toilet seat right away, the pee actually dries up in the little edges and it becomes a little difficult to clean. So I have to let it soak in water for a little bit just to soften it up. I don't have another con. I really like this. I actually really like this seat. This has been super helpful in our family. I love just like traveling with it. It's just super easy to install. And this has been my favorite so far just because I don't have to clean the toilet. I don't have to clean the potty, I mean. So my son just goes, he can poo or pee, and then I just flush it. And it's the easiest to clean so far. Yeah, I really like this. Yeah, it's a good potty. The next potty I'll be reviewing is, this is a little big. This summer potty. This is one of my favorite features of this potty, and it's this one. How cute is that? It makes a little flushing sound so your child can be taught that once they are finished using the potty, they can just press that and that's how you flush. So another pro for this potty is this compartment right here. You can fit books, you can fit a tablet if you need it, wipes or toilet paper, anything that your child might need when they are potty training, you can use this compartment for it. Another thing is, I love how this part comes off. So when your child is trained, when your child is ready to use an adult-sized potty, you can actually transfer this onto the toilet. So it becomes like a 2-in-1 where you have like a small potty for them while they're still small and learning how to use the potty, and when they're old enough, you can use this as they are growing. So it's grow with me type of potty. And then another thing I love about this is how realistic it looks. Like, look at how realistic this looks compared to another child type of potty. So this is actually one of those more realistic toilets that I found, and I love how comfortable my child gets when he is using this potty, because unlike the other seats that I just mentioned, this one, he doesn't have like this fear, and I don't have this fear of him falling off of the potty when he needs to go. So he can actually go on the potty himself, sit there, and he'll use it comfortably without me having to hold him on there, unlike the Munchkin potty seat where I have to really just like sit there and wait for him to finish. This one I can just like leave him be and he'll be fine. Another pro is that it's super sturdy. So my son actually loves to climb in and out of this potty. He doesn't do it as often anymore. He used to do it a lot, and I was worried at first that maybe it's gonna break or it's gonna like show signs of collapsing, but it's held its ground. It's a good potty. It's a really good potty. Some cons. This, although it's very cute, it's not very practical, because the only cause and effect that they're gonna be learning is that I can press this button, it's gonna make some noise, but they're not learning that when you flush a potty, it actually goes down into the pipes. They're not gonna learn that until they're actually using an adult-sized potty. And this can actually get very distracting. So when we were first potty training my son, instead of him focusing on going 1 or 2 on the toilet, he would actually play with that button, and he'd forget all about needing to use the toilet and just like move on after he was finished playing with the button. So depending on your child's attention span, this can actually get very distracting. Another thing is, I don't like how I have to take this out, take this part out, and then I'd have to like walk around with this part of the toilets, and then I'd have to fill it with water first before I dump it into the toilet, just so it empties out the contents. And then it just becomes such a tasking job when you're constantly having to clean it out. And it becomes difficult when you have a toddler who has their pants down and you need to clean them first too. You have to put this somewhere and lay it down while you go clean your toddler, then come back to it, clean it. It's just a whole job in itself. If you're like me, you'd probably prefer the Munchkin potty where they can just go pee and poo in the toilet right away, and then you have minimal mess to clean up. And I think that is it. Okay, so let's rank it up and let's look at the scores to see which potty makes the most sense for your child. So the My Carry potty is worth $36.99, and I'm going to be ranking this for practicality an 8 out of 10. Just because I like how you can travel with it. It's a good potty, but it doesn't make sense when you're at home to be using this. You're probably not going to use it as much, and unless you're really always on the road, you don't really need travel potty. You probably would prefer something more for your toilet or just something for a stay at home. And on a scale of 1 to 10 for value, I would rate this at a 7 out of 10. $36.99 for a potty, that's crazy. It might take your child maybe a year to potty train. So paying $36.99 for something you're just gonna use for a year, to me it doesn't make sense. For safety, 10 out of actually, I would give that a 9 out of 10. Just because if your child gets their finger stuck in here when they need to shut it, it's gonna hurt. Assembly, this doesn't really require any assembly, so I would probably give it like a 10 out of 10. And for durability, this is super strong. I've dropped it, my son's dropped it, we've dropped it from very high places. So it's very durable, so I'll give this a 10 out of 10. So that brings the score up to 44 out of 50. So this is $13.89 USD. Yeah, I'm gonna give it a 10 on the practicality, just super practical. It makes so much sense that you would use this if you're potty training your child, and you can just travel around with it. It's super portable. For value, 10 out of 10. Yeah, like it's so cheap, it's so affordable, anyone can buy it, so 10 out of 10. And then for safety, super safe. I told you about the grip part. It helps to keep your child from falling into the toilet, so super safe. Assembly, no assembly required, 10 out of 10. And durability, it's super strong. You can't bend it, it's hard for children to break, so 10 out of 10 in durability. That's a 50 out of 50 on the first scoreboard. Love this potty. Let's do the summer the summer potty seat. Okay, so with practicality, I will give this a 10 out of 10 just because it grows with your child. You don't have to worry about them getting another potty seat like this. When they are a little older, you can just use this part. So super practical. Use it when they're small and then when they're big. Okay, in terms of value, I would give this a 10 out of 10. It is actually worth $24.98. Not bad. This is cheaper than a travel potty. It's crazy. And it looks so much like a toilet. $24.98. This would be a good birthday gift or Christmas gift for someone who's looking for it. For safety, I would give this a 10 out of 10. It's pretty safe. There are no pieces that can really break unless your child is super strong and can break this off. All the pieces are pretty safe for your child to use. For assembly, I would give this an 8. So this actually came in, I think, 8 pieces when I had to assemble it, so it took a while. I would only give it an 8 just because I tried to take it apart at some point because I was just curious how easy is it to take apart in case I wanted to travel with it. And it took me over an hour just to figure out how to do it. Now that I know what to do, it might take me like 10 minutes, 15 minutes, but if you're trying to figure out how to take it apart the first time, it's going to take you a while. So just assembly, I would give it an 8 out of 10. Easy to put it together, but very difficult to take apart. And in terms of durability, I would give it a 10 out of 10. It's very strong. So I think that is a 48 out of 50 on the first scale. Oh, yep. Now, just as important, it is for your child to learn how to use the potty. It is also very important for them to learn how to read. I've created a whole video for how to use the Montessori philosophy to teach your child how to read in the video up here. I'll see you in that video. Stay fresh.